Apple just unleashed some brand new MacBook Pros, and they're awesome. Let's dive into it on the next Mix of Tech. Hey guys, welcome to Mix of Tech, where I review technology for the consumer prosumer, and I give my take on the things I see. In today's video, it's going to be quick and on my first impressions about the announcement, and I'm going to go into some details because you can now order the MacBook Pros. All right, to start off with, one of the cool things I don't think a lot of people were expecting is that we didn't get but one chip, we got two CPUs. So you've got the M1 Pro, which we thought was going to be the M1X, and you got the M1 Max, which is going to be even better than the Pro. Really what it comes down to, if we look at it, it is around what the CPUs can do, and it's also around the actual GPU. So you can get up to 10 cores on the Max, and you can get up to 32 cores on the GPUs on the Max, which you can only get up to 16 on the M1 Pro. You can also get double the memory as far as the unified memory, and also double the memory bandwidth. And that's something to keep in mind. When you're getting these M1 chips, they're using the system on a chip, which means that you're gonna get better performance because you don't have to go across the motherboard between these components, but you can't upgrade them. So you do want to get the right chip that's for you. And I'll say that I've been happy with my M1 Mac Mini with 16 gigs, but if you're doing a lot of high-end video editing graphics, you're going to need more memory. So getting 32 is going to be a big plus. You have to get that with the M1 Max. You can get up to 32 on the M1 Pro. So let's jump into the tech specs. So Apple released both what we thought, the 14 and the 16 inch. What we didn't know is that it's really 14.2 and 16.2 inches diagonally. So I think, the right size for me is going to be the 14.2, but you might like the 16.2 because you're going to get better battery life, bigger screen, and there are a few sound pluses to it. It comes in two colors. It comes in silver and space gray. My favorite is space gray out of this. And you can get all kinds of configurations starting at $1,999 up to $6,000. If you're going with the 14 inch, you can get the M1 Max and the M1 Pro. You can do that across 14 and 16 inches. What's really cool about both of these 14 and 16 inch MacBook Pros is they come with a liquid Retina XDR display, which is the same as the iPad Pro of 2021. So you're able to get a 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio, a brightness of consistently at 1,000 nits, and peak brightness out 1,600 nits. So you're going to get a really good display that'll do HDR content. It won't be just for video watching, but it'll also be for video editing and graphics editing. Again, you can get unified memory up to 64 gigs. You have to get the M1 Max to get that, but you can get up to 32 with the M1 Pro. So one of the great features about the MacBook Pros is the connectivity and charging. Starting out with charging, we now have MagSafe again, which allows for you to actually charge your MacBook Pro in 30 minutes, 50%. That's fantastic. And you've also got other connectivity. So now we've got our SD card reader. We've got our HDMI port, which is 2.0 and not 2.1. We've got the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. We've got 3 Thunderbolt 4 or USB-C ports that allow for charging and data transport and display. MacBook Pro also has improved upon on the keyboard. We all complained about the touch bar. It's gone. Now we got the functional keys, and it's an improved keyboard over the previous generations. It has 802.11ax, so they didn't mention that, but it's Wi-Fi 6, so we should have good connectivity from a wireless standpoint. We also have a camera with 1080p, which is part of why we have that top notch. So we're going to get a better camera, and we're also going to get a better aperture, so we'll get more light in on that camera. Audio is improved, so we have high fidelity 6-speaker sound system with voice canceling woofers. We've got support for spatial audio, so you can run Dolby Atmos. And then you got that 3.5 millimeter headphone jack again that gives you advanced support for high impedance headphones. Well, we've got some great options on these MacBook Pros. I don't know, what are your thoughts? What are you guys going to get? I'm looking at the MacBook Pro 14 inch, I think with M1 Max chip and getting a terabyte of storage because I really need that for my video editing. What do you guys think? What are you guys looking for? More videos to come on the MacBook Pro, but this is my first impressions based upon the announcements. I hope you like this video, and if you have, make sure to hit the like button. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to this channel for more great content like this. Thanks for joining A Mix of Tech.